Heyo, what's up guys and girls, we're Sheik here with another Minecraft video, more specifically TechLoaded. And we're back in the house. So, after my rage quit last episode, I managed to get myself re-established, get everything sorted out. You can see I got my jetpack back, and I got really lucky with the boots. You know how, like I said, those boots were hard to get, they were so good. Well, it was the first pair. The very first pair I enchanted, I got haste 3, repair 2. And fire protection 4 all over again. So the only difference between these and the other ones was projectile protection. And to be honest, I reckon fire protection is more useful. It would have been cool to get regular protection, but I'll take fire protection. And then I just combined a feather falling boot. So I'm pretty much back to where I was before I died. And so I went back to the end, was a lot more careful this time, sending everything through the ender pouch as I went. And I managed to gather about 1.5 stacks of Sheldonite ore. And I think that will turn into about 50 something iridium pieces. But that's not what we're going to work on today. That's for maybe next episode. What I want to do today is clean up this little power area because it's starting to get on my nerves having this thing messed up, and it was something I've been planning to do for a while. And it also gives me a chance to show you these two machines, the magma crucible and the liquid transposer. So the first thing we're going to have to do is make ourselves a redstone energy cell, and you're going to see why soon. So we go to the redstone section. We're going to want to make this redstone energy cell, which stores red megajoules energy and outputs and inputs it at certain rates. And to make it, we're going to need some electrum, an energy cell frame, a redstone conductant coil, and some lead ingots. So that's pretty straightforward. The electrum is quite easy to make. All we're going to do is chuck some silver and some gold into a furnace of sorts. So let's get a bit of that cooking up. We'll make a fair bit of it because why not? Save some for later. What's the odds I don't get an even number? What just happened there? Oop. Oh no, I got exactly 10. How lucky was that? Okay, so we're going to chuck this in our induction smelter. I don't think I've shown you the induction smelter at all either. So what it basically is it's a machine with thermal expansion which combines two types of metals or powders or whatever to make certain other items in the game which would be unacquirable otherwise. Like the pulverizer, I believe the pulverizer also uses 4. Yep, it uses 4 megajoules per tick, and it always, as all the other machines do, it has a bit of internal storage. So that electrum is going to cook up for us, and we're going to start working on this energy frame. To make the energy frame, you can see here we're going to be using the liquid transposer. But to do that, we're first going to have to make this energy cell frame, which is going to require some hardened glass, a bit more electrum, and a diamond. Now I'm just going to quickly go check to see if we have any hardened glass. So if you remember, we can do the little search thing here, just double click hard, and then anything with the word hard in it's going to come up bright. So if we do have some hardened glass, it's going to be in here somewhere. Nope, that's shards. Maybe I should have wrote hardened. Okay, it doesn't look like we've got any. So I guess we're going to be making ourselves some hardened glass. To do so, it's pretty straightforward. Hardened glass. No, doesn't want to be here. Okay, let's go back to Redstone Energy Cell. I probably spelled hard wrong, didn't I? Hardened glass. Pretty straightforward to make. We're going to need some pulverized obsidian and a lead ingot. And that's going to give us 2 hardened glass. So we're just going to pulverize a few pieces of obsidian here. That should do. Chuck them in. Yep, you can see the power's building up there. Hopefully I can get this in before it explodes. There we go. Let the obsidian build up. And we're going to grab some lead. I've got plenty of lead here. Where is it? Here it is. Now you may have seen this stuff flowing through these tubes. That's because I've set up another quarry. And I've had to set up this section here because I've got quite a lot of iron coming through. And speaking of that quarry, actually, I guess I should show you words and stuff. I guess I should show you the little setup I got here. So it's using an item sorter now instead of a filter, which sucks the items out at the same rate as a filter. Like, it has many different options, but really all we need to know now is this option here means it does an action per pulse, and this sucks out a stack, up to a stack at a time. So here I've got it set to suck cobble and sticks and label it as blue. That means only they can travel through a blue tube. Anything else is not allowed to travel through here. And because this is the shortest route, they go straight up here into this transposer, which just shoots it into some lava, which is held in place by just a few micro blocks. Now the item sorter has to be powered by bluetricity, and it's pretty straightforward. One bluetricity solar panel, as you can see, is plenty of energy to keep this thing running. The battery never even looks like getting uncharged. So the solar panel is just getting charged through the day, putting the power into the battery box, and then it's just coming through the cable down into the item sorter. So that's the little setup I've got running here, and you can see it's just sucking items out with the timer. This thing also has an auto pulse, so without the timer it would do it every 0.5 seconds, but I just set it to the minimum speed for the timer just to be on the safe side. I better turn this off before it explodes. Now we're going to take our obsidian dust, got our electrum, which is all good to go, and we're going to chuck the obsidian and lead ingots in there and let it do its thing. So we're going to need some redstone now, and we are going to make my crafting table is not here. We're going to make the electrum rod. That's the wrong way around. I always do that. Like so, 1 redstone conductance coil. So that's the first part of the mystery done. We're going to need ourselves a diamond, and we're going to have to grab our hardened glass. So now we're going to take our hardened glass. Just a second. Okay, I've already turned that off. That's why it ran out. It ran out of internal storage power. I didn't want it to blow up in my face again. And we're gonna chuck the hardened glass. Whoops. Bit of electrum, and boom, we've got ourselves an energy cell frame which has nothing in it. Now if we looked at the recipe again, we could see that it required us to put it in a transposer, and it was putting some mysterious red jelly into it. Well, that red jelly, all it is, we're going to turn all our engines on because this requires up to 30 megajoules per tick. And if we put a piece of redstone in here, you can see it actually starts to melt it, and it transfers it over to here, and we've got 25 millibuckets of redstone energy. Now we need 1,000 millibuckets, so we're going to need another 39 pieces of redstone. Chuck it in there, and what the magma crucible is going to do is it's going to slowly melt it up, and because I've got it set to eject through the right side, it automatically just dumps it into the liquid transposer. Now the magma crucible can be used to melt other things, like it can melt netherrack and cobble into lava, it can melt ender pearls into like liquid ender stuff, but for this recipe we just need the redstone. And as you can see, it's slowly starting to build up here. So with the redstone, we're going to let that run for a bit, and we're going to work on setting up the next stage of the project. Now I have a filler that's in here, isn't it? Yep, and we're going to use this filler to clear out the ground below our house. So we're going to want to go outside actually to the corner of our house. So where would the corner of the square be? I guess it'd be here technically. Now I want to go down, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How many blocks is that? Okay, yeah, it's 8 blocks. 9. We're going to go 9 to be on the safe side. And you'll see why in a later episode, once I get the necessary materials. We're going to do a little tool from Thorncraft, but we don't really need that right now. We can just fly out. And what I'm going to do is go over here and do the same thing. Dig out a hole 8, just so I can build a little tunnel way. Okay, so this is already 1 block down technically. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Really hard to tell with the lag sometimes. I bet you, knowing my luck, this is probably not quite low enough. It probably needs to go down 1 lower, but let's just see if this connects up. Come on. Oh, I think we're almost there. That's a good thing about the minimap. You can just sort of see where it is you need to go. Look at all that flint. Oh, it's got fortune. That explains it. Yep, I told you. Needed to go down. Oh, Jesus. Needed to go down 1 further. But that doesn't really matter. We don't really need to go all the way down. We can just dig a hole, because our filler's going to sort that out for us. But I think our electrum should be done now. So if it is, not our electrum, our liquid. If it is, we're going to work with that. 1,000 millibuckets. There we go. Let's chuck our energy cell frame into there. And you can see it's just doing its thing. Now this only needs 4 megajoules per tick, so I'm going to turn that off before it explodes. Going back to our redstone energy cell, we just need lead and some electrum to finish it off. We've got the electrum. Let's grab some lead. 1, 2. I've got so much lead stored in that chest. Look at all this iron as well. 40 stacks of unmacerated or pulverized iron. That is a lot. And we've got our energy cell frame, so we can turn that off. And we can go to the crafting table. That's where it's going to go. And we're going to chuck that in there. Bit of electrum on top. Conductance coil. And we have ourselves a redstone energy cell. So if I just chuck this down here, it looks nice, doesn't it? Just a nice little box. And what this thing can do is it can input energy and it can output energy, and you can adjust the rate at which it does that. You right click it, increases it by 1 or decreases by 1, so on and so forth. And if you want to keep the energy that's in it, you shift right click it with the wrench, and it will maintain its energy level, which at this point is 0. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start setting up the little tunnels underground, and we're going to get the filler to do its little job and start digging things out for us. So I'll be back shortly. Okay guys and girls, so I'm going to show you what we've got set up and ready to go here. Now this is just where I've been doing my little bit of quarry work here in the Twilight Forest. That's where I like to do it, keep it out of the way. Oh, bit of lag. Frames a lot. Okay, there we go. So I've just been using the engine setup here that I've been using before, you've seen in the previous episode. And I've just been using it to charge the energy cell, which you can see is now up to about 300k. Is that right? Yeah, 300k megajoules. And it's not outputting anything, so that's why the quarry has stopped. But what we can do here is, if we hello bunny. If we shift right click this with the wrench, you can see we've got it, and its charge is 330,000, which is exactly as it was before. Now I'm going to quickly put this pipe here before it explodes. You can see the energy building up quickly. So now the energy is going to go back to the quarry, and it's going to continue on its way. So we're going to just use this half-charged redstone energy cell for now. I think that should be enough to get the job done. If not, I can always recharge it off camera. And what we're going to do is go down this hole here. I need to grab some glass first, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I believe that's what we need to use in the recipe. Okay, so okay, that's better. I'm gonna pop down the hole, and you can see I've got the markers set up. This one up here is to give it the height, and then there's 3 down the bottom to give it the dimensions, and it works out the 4th corner on its own. So we're gonna take our filler and we're gonna put it right here, and you can see all the markers pop off. I'm just gonna go along and collect those. Mr. Marker. That must have been the corner I didn't put a marker in, obviously. And you can see that you don't have to dig all the way through. We'll see when we get down here. There's just a blank wall there, but it has the ability to go through and grab its stuff. We'll just leave the last marker. So when we go back down here, what we're going to do now is this thing needs, firstly, to be given a pattern. So we're going to give it the clear pattern. And when you do it with glass like this, what it tells the filler is to clear out the area. I hope I remember that correctly. What we're going to do is put the redstone energy cell next to it, and we're going to give it some output. Now hopefully that's going to start. I don't think it is. Let's give it more power. 50. Go. Damn lag. Let's try something. Thank you. What happens if I get a pipe, and then I put that there, then I put that there? Now will you work? Interesting. Maybe what we're going to need is a redstone energy conduit, which is what we were going to be getting to next, but I guess we'll do it now and see if that fixes our problem. So these redstone energy conduits, what they're going to do is they transfer redstone power like the Buildcraft pipes, except they're not going to just randomly explode when they start to get too low on power. And to make them, it's pretty straightforward. First we're going to make an empty conduit with some electrum and hardened glass. So off camera I gathered up some of that stuff ready to go, and we're just going to chuck it all in here. Let's just make all of it, 52. We'll be using a lot of this in the long run. And this transfers power, megajoule power pretty much. Now from what I've read, I think there is a power loss, like as it puts power into items. The exact percentages I'm not sure, but it's a really effective way to transfer energy compared to these explosive devices. And probably next episode we're going to take it a step further with some gate logic to make sure it auto shuts off, but that's the next episode because that's going to require a lot more infrastructure. So these things they take, I believe it's about 80, maybe 50, I guess it looks like. Oh no, it's just a bit of lag. I think it's 80 millibuckets of redstone to fill up one conduit, and that will do us for now. Let's just turn these off. I guess I'll leave one running so that can fill back up a bit without risk of exploding. Now let's see if these Redstone Energy Conduits can make a difference. Let's go down here, break that, and put that. Okay, now these blue arrows, you can see this blue, it looks like it's pointed that way. It's telling the Redstone Energy to go that way. So now what we've basically got is a conduit telling energy to go nowhere. If we click, whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. If we right click on that, it's gonna bug out on us. Okay, let's break it for a second. To be honest, this is the first time I've actually used this stuff, so that's why we're having a little bit of trouble with it. But there's always a first time for everything. Let's try 2 pieces. Okay, that's going in, and I want you to pull energy out. So now you can see this little orange arrow going that way. And hopefully that's transferring energy to the filler, but it does not appear to do so. I wonder if I've got my... I have a feeling maybe my pattern is wrong because there's no little object saying clear there. What happens if I put... let me out. I really got to fix that hole. It's really annoying. Anyway. What happens if I put that there? Okay, that's better. Now it's going to start doing its thing. You can see it's got a little green knob on the top, so I believe now it's going to start doing its job, I hope. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Do it. Come on. God damn it. Why? Oh, it is doing okay. It is taking power, so I guess it's doing something. Oh, yep, there you go. You can see the laser. It's clearing it out. And it should automatically just dump the items. Now, I don't know how much this thing can take, so I'm just going to put this up to 100 and it'll take the energy it needs. Come on, there we go. So now the filler's going through, and as you saw it there, it's clearing it out layer by layer. So this is a lot faster than going through and digging it out. Now I'm going to lose some items, of course, in the process, because it's not going to pick the items up for me, but really at the end of the day, that's worth it for the time saved. I got my quarries going, they're going to make up for all of this. So that's the filler doing its job, and that's also the Redstone Energy Conduits. So I've killed 2 birds with 1 stone there, I guess. Now we're just going to wait for this to finish up. I'm going to go grab some torches actually, because I don't want mobs spawning down here. And I'll of course tidy this all up, you know, put a bit of smooth, or maybe stone bricks in that, I guess. Make it look nice and pretty off camera. That's not something you want to see me do. There's some torches. Why don't I have any torches anywhere? Oh, there we go. I knew I had some. And the last thing we're going to do for today is we're going to connect it all up to these machines here. So I think it's about time we dismantle this mess. Whoop, don't want to break the wall. Should probably click on that. Thank you. Give me all the stuff. Oh, I broke a hole in the wall. Oh, of course I did. And another hole in the wall. What a mess. And there's a hole under the floor for some reason. I don't know why that's there. Okay, I'll fix all that mess off camera for next episode. That's not necessary now. And what we're gonna do is, if I can get out of the house, go down here. Hopefully our filler has done its job. It has done its job perfectly. And you can see that the energy cell has stopped just giving away energy because it's not needed anymore. So I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take that. And that. And oh, I'm just breaking everything. I guess I can technically right click on that and it'll do the same job. Use the wrench when I say right click. But for now we're just going to make sure this place is nice and lit up. It's like a first home almost. Just digging a hole in the ground. Very, very fast automated hole though. And that should do. Okay, so what we're going to have here is if we were to dig back into our house for a second. Open sesame. And let's dig under... I guess we'll dig under this machine here. I need to get rid of this piping, don't I? Goodbye. And let's put some energy conduits all along. Oh dear. Is that good? Yeah, okay, that's good. And if we dig straight down, we should end up in our little hidey hole. Perfect. Just a few blocks between us. Now, this is going to be initially a temporary setup, and if it needs to be moved in the future, I'll move it around and shift it about. But I think should work out perfectly fine for what we need now. Come on, I can do it. Yes. That block placement. Okay, we're going to take our Redstone Energy Cell, and we're just going to, I guess we'll set it directly below, so that's this block. Our energy cell will forever sit there until I decide to move it, so then I guess it won't forever be sitting there. And we're going to put some energy conduits, and the engine should be able to... Am I missing an engine? I am missing an engine. Where is my... What if it fell through here? Well, that is extremely, extremely odd. Must have fallen down here, maybe? Where is my engine? God damn it. I'm just tearing my house apart. I must find this engine. I must find it. It's not really that important. I can go make more. It's not that hard. I just want to know where the heck it went, but there was 3 engines on that wall. Now I have 2. Okay, I give up. We'll just work with 2. And what we're going to do, if I can get down here, is hook them up. That is... Jeez, I've completely lost the plot now. And flip that... Oh, no. Flip that around. There we go. We'll put this one over here. We'll flip that around. And I think we'll pump the lava in from underneath. So... what I can do effectively now is just have a whole line of magmatic engines, or whatever other type of engine I choose, lined up here, and I can just start pumping the energy into the cells, using them as like a buffer. So I can set up multiple cells in a row and just use them as like a buffer zone, pretty much. Now, is this going to connect to the conduit? Nope, good. Use them as a buffer zone. So we're going to put our tesseract down here. Where is it? There we go. Plonk. Set it to private. Receive only. And it's going to start pumping its lava. Now that I think about it, I probably shouldn't have put it there, because if I want to turn it off in the future, I'm going to need a more accessible place. But whatever. You can see now that these things are... Let's just reduce this a bit. Just for the sake of it. It doesn't need to be that high. But you can see that these 2... engines are now pumping energy into the conduit, not to the conduit, into the energy cell. And if we connect this up here, like so, switch that to output, go up here, and let's say we want to use our, let's use our pulverizer. What can we pulverize? I have nothing to pulverize. Let's use our smelter, our induction smelter. Chuck the obsidian dust in there, and you can see it's using, oh, flux, bad flux. Not using power because it's getting the power drawn straight from here. So this is our new storage system. This is where all our temporary power generation is going to occur. I think I want to do it all in a separate building later on, but for now this is like our little power generation basement. I can put some IC2 power down here. I can put some different forms of energy generation just instead of magmatic engines. You know, a whole heap of cool fun things we can do with these mods. But all that's for a future episode, guys and girls. This is our setup now, out of sight, out of mind. Nice and clean once I fix up all the holes in the wall. That should probably be the starting point. But, as always, guys and girls, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a like rating, because it really helps me out. Why am I short on stone slabs? Why do I not have the same amount that I picked up? Anyway, as always, guys and girls, hope you have a good day. I'll see you all laggy later.